Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm really late with this video, but here I am finally with my Q&A. I apologize that it took forever and a day, but here I am as promised. Big thank you to everyone who commented and messaged me questions. I also went through all of my old videos and through all of my social media to find questions that I've been asked in the past that I haven't been able to get to. There was a lot more than I expected, so I had to narrow it down a lot. So let's go ahead and get into it. How did you start choreographing Quinces? I kind of started on accident, if I'm being completely honest. My tia asked me to choreograph her daughter, just my cousin Stephanie, her quince back in 2014. And then from there, actually, two boys that were in it, their mom referred me to my second one. And I think my third one too. So thank you, Lisa. And after that, it just sort of blew up. A person from that group told someone about me, and then that someone told someone else, and that person, so on and so on. And if you had asked me back then if I thought I was still gonna be doing this almost 4 years later, it would have been a hard ass no. And yet, here I am. Where are you located and where do you go for practices? I live in the Austin, Texas area. So as far as practices go, I travel where it's most convenient for the group to be able to make all practices. Now, I don't go crazy and travel too far, which actually brings me to my next question that I get asked a lot. How far do you travel? Will you come to Dallas-Fort Worth, El Paso, Texas, Aurora, Colorado, Houston, Texas, Andrews, Texas, San Angelo, Texas, Prescott, Arizona, Caldwell, Idaho, Los Angeles, San Antonio, Texas, Plainview, Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, Ingleside, Texas, New Jersey, Hondo, Texas, San Diego, California, Sacramento, California, Michigan, Utah, Rosenberg, South Carolina, Indiana? Okay, just to be clear, I would take every single one of your requests in every single location that I just listed if I was physically and financially able to. Like I said, I do live in the Austin, Texas area, so places like Cali and Michigan and even some cities in Texas are out of the question for me, and I'm so sorry. I have choreographed one in Dallas, Texas, but it was pretty difficult. They still did a badass job. Shout out to Brianna and Jocelyn, but I do feel like their group didn't get the full advantage of practices because they lived 3.5 hours from where I do. And I was only able to go up there like every other weekend. Would I do another one up there? Maybe, but I do feel like I would need a huge notice so I could plan out my weekends and the travel time and things like that. Also, my price would go up tremendously because of how far I would be traveling and how long it takes me to get there. So as of right now, the farthest I think I would travel would be about an hour and a half at max. Do you make your mixes / playlists? How? I use a computer app called Virtual DJ. I downloaded it a couple of years ago and I love it. I just import my iTunes to the app and then mix it that way. Nothing fancy. This one was really cute. I know most of your questions are going to be about 15s, but I want to know some facts about you. What is your age, middle name, favorite color, favorite food, favorite type of music, favorite artist? By the way, I love your videos. Thank you so much, even though I'm hella awkward. Let's see. I am 24 years old. I will be 25 on May 4th. My middle name is Elizabeth. Favorite color is yellow. Favorite food? Sandwiches? I know that's kind of boring, but sandwiches make me happy. Favorite music? That is probably the world's hardest question for me. I love all kinds of music, from like country to rap to 80s rock to bachata, reggaeton, alternative. I like it all, which makes choosing my favorite artist even harder. If you're ever in the car with me, my playlist will literally go from like J. Cole to Blink-182 to Michael Jackson to Frank Sinatra, and just, it's all over the place. But if I had to choose, my guilty pleasure would probably be like groups. So CNCO, BTS, Little Mix, and of course One Direction. Even if they're on hiatus, they're not broken up. Until one of them comes out and says One Direction is done forever, they're on a break. They're coming back. Next question. What do you like and dislike about being a choreographer? Well, the dancing, of course. And I meet a bunch of really cool people. Like, not even just the kids, like their parents sometimes are just like, they're homies. And of course the practices are always a fun time. Dislike. I can't really think of anything. Like, I mean, I know like every job comes with, you know, hard and stressful times, but overall I really do enjoy everything. So I would have to say, like, with each group, they all stay the same age, like 14, 15, 16, around that area. Meanwhile, I'm over here aging, so at times I do feel old. But other than that, I really do like everything about this job. Do you get attached to the groups that you teach? Do you have a favorite group? Absolutely 100% yes, I do get attached, like a lot. I'm always really sad when one of them ends. I've been very, very lucky to get to work with the groups that I've had. That's why it makes it impossible for me to choose just one as my favorite, because one, that's really messed up, and two, because I have special memories with each group that make all of them really dear to my heart. How long does it take to learn the dances? How many days a week do you practice? I give 10 practices for each group, and each practice is 3 hours long. And I usually only schedule practice once a week, but there are certain circumstances where I will put in 2 and sometimes even 3 a week. In some of your videos, you've mentioned your rules. What are they? Okay, so when I first introduced myself at the very first practice, I have 3 rules. 1 is to be on time. I will not start practice until everybody that says they're gonna be there is there. I know that may seem a little extreme, but it wastes time anyway when the 3 people that are 45 minutes late, I have to stop the practice and reteach everything I just taught everybody else. So I'd rather teach the group as a whole rather than in parts. 2 is my phone rule. I tell them I don't care if they have them, I don't care if they're on them, but if I'm speaking directly to them or to the group as a whole, I don't want to see them. And 3 is just to cooperate with me. Sometimes there's going to be something that they don't necessarily want to do or they think is silly, or for the guys that's not manly, but I just ask them to cooperate with me, and if there's anything that they don't feel comfortable doing, to let me know and I'll either change it or tweak it to where they do feel comfortable. But that's it. I don't think I'm strict at all. You know, as long as we have mutual respect for each other, I'm pretty chill. I like for my kids to have fun at practice, but at the same time, if I feel disrespected or if their fun interferes with my teaching or puts us behind, I do get a teeny tiny tad bit strict. What do you record with? I just use my phone. I do plan on getting a camera, but I haven't researched a good one that's in my price range. So yeah, I just record on my phone. What is your Snapchat/Instagram? My Snapchat is MaryElizabeth01 and my Instagram is MaryEPrieto_. Both of them will be on the screen somewhere, and I'll also put them in the description if you want to follow me. Now this isn't really a question, it's more of a comment, but it made me really sad when I read it. Mary, I followed you a few months ago on Snapchat and I haven't gotten a follow back. Sad face. So Mariah, I think is how you say your name. I'm so sorry. As soon as I saw your comment, I followed you back. I get a lot of people that follow me on Instagram and Snapchat that I don't know, but I usually don't follow people back unless they've been in one of my Quince groups. But thank you to everyone who does follow me and still follows me and continues to follow me. I really appreciate the support. How do we contact you for more information? Probably the best way to contact me would be either through Snapchat or Instagram. I know it's a bit unprofessional, but I don't have like a website for you to contact me through. You can also email me or message me through Facebook, but it does take me a little longer to reply to those messages because sometimes I don't realize I have unread emails and pending requests for Facebook. And I'm constantly on Instagram and Snapchat, and I always read my messages. So even if it takes me a little while, I will reply back to you. In one of your vlogs, you said something about a surprise. What was the surprise? Well, my dad got married back in February. And before that, he mentioned to me that it would be really cool if I put together a dance for him and his fiance. Well, that's what I tried to do. And I asked a bunch of my old Quince kids to help me do a dance for them. So like I asked my cousin, who was my first 15 that I choreographed, and I had some of her friends who are also like 18. And then I asked some of my kids from the 15 that I was doing at the time and from ones in between. And I was so excited because it was gonna look so good because they all can dance. But I ended up having to cancel because I got busy and some of them work and some of them have sports and things like that. So it didn't work, but that's okay. What do you charge? This is also a question I get asked a lot. My price actually fluctuates, so it's different every single time. I do have a standard price that I start off with, but majority of the time it changes because they want something extra or extra practices are thrown in. So it all depends. But if you do have any further questions about my price, you can always message me and I'll go more into detail about that. And my final question is, do you have any advice for beginners like me? I did not think this question was going to be this hard to answer. I mean, first thing, I think you should just have fun with what you do. I think that's why I've been keeping up with this for so long, because I thoroughly do enjoy every single aspect of this job. And it also spreads onto your kids. So like the atmosphere and overall vibe is so much better when you're enjoying yourself and so are they. Also, if you're anything like me, I worry about everything and am somewhat of a perfectionist. I want everything to go 1000% perfect all the time. But eventually over time, I've come to realize that even if you teach at your absolute best, there's always a chance that something can go wrong. I actually used to beat myself up about, certain things in the dance that I would notice were off, or if I noticed something I should have changed, or if I didn't get the reaction from the audience that I was expecting. It was just little things like that that would genuinely make me upset. But you have to think of it this way. Not everybody can do this. That's why the parents go out and find people like us. It's not easy. I mean, I get told all the time, oh, you come up with this stuff all by yourself, or people will say things like, I would never have the patience to do what you do with these kids, and just little comments like that. You just have to constantly remind yourself that this job is not easy, and you have to commend yourself for anything and everything that you come up with for these girls. Always give 10,000%, but don't push yourself too hard to where your expectations are too high, because that's when you end up disappointed, or at least that's how it was for me. Consider yourself blessed that you were given this creative mind to be able to do this for other people. Oh, I'm gonna change my answer to the question that I was asked about what I like about doing this, because it's the most rewarding thing, for me at least, on the day of whatever event that you choreograph. It's the best feeling to see them all looking at you with like the most proud and excited faces at the end of their final performance. It's my absolute favorite thing about this whole job. So this will wrap up my Q&A video. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions. If there's something I didn't answer for you, or if there's a question from this video that you want more details on, leave me a comment, or I can do part 2 of the questions that I didn't get to in this one. And let me know what you guys would like to see, more vlogs, if you'd like me to introduce the groups that I'm working with, what I do when I'm not being a choreographer. I'm open to any and all suggestions. Also too, I want to thank every single one of you for subscribing. I hit 2.5K this past week, and I know it's nothing compared to like other channels with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but to know that you all watch my videos and are intrigued enough to stay here, it really does make me happy. As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Leave me comments, questions, suggestions, anything you'd like, and I'll see you guys in my next video.